So how the project management evolved? Okay, so is it that we are started talking about project management 2020 or 2025? No, the project management is there from ages. You know how pyramids were made, right? How Taj Mahal was made, even how every other construction done in this world from ancient times had a project management activity done there. So I would like to say in 1917, um, the project management got the first modern tool, that is Gantt chart. How many of you here know what Gantt chart is?
Yeah, sir, it comes in OS, right? Operating system, Gantt chart.
No, a Gantt chart, you can see the icon, right?
Yeah, yeah, sir.
So this the reason I have placed this icon is here it will show from when to when you're planning to do an activity. Okay, say I'm giving a very small example. Okay, you are in a project of constructing a house. Okay, you're constructing your own house. So you can't construct everything in one day, right?
So we
You
divide into
have,
parts.
yes, exactly. So how will you do it here is the first 4 weeks will be for foundation, second 4 weeks would be for pillar. So like this, the first four weeks would be for foundation, and then parallelly you will do pillars, and then parallelly you sequentially you will do walls, and then painting. You would do slab and everything. I'm not sure if everyone is getting this example. If not, please let me know. I can give you a better one. So a Gantt chart is a chart which is put on in tabular format. Okay, to showcase everyone in the project when things would happen. Okay, when things would happen, how things will be considered from day one, what would happen when day two, what happens, and it is a pictorial form. So people who are looking at the chart, they know which stage of project we are in now. Okay. At the end of this presentation, I will make a small Gantt chart and explain you. Okay. The next method is CPM and PERT techniques. So as you can see here in the icon, every object is related to each other, right? That's how the PERT said. It draws a critical path. Very basic example I'll give you. You want to go from your home to college. You go from your home to college every day, and you take 40 minutes to go, right? For example, if you're going from your home to college every day, you're taking 40 minutes every day. So you know, if your college is at 9, you have to start at 8:15 so that you can reach college at 9. If in case your friend calls you and say, hi, Yashwant, can you pick me today? So how will you reach that goal? You know you have to reach your college by 9, and you know it is going to take 45 minutes, and you also know that if I have to pick my friend and then go to my college, will it take an extra time?
Sir,
Yes,
we can go
Yashwant?
in short ways. We can choose a short way.
That is the critical path. Okay, I'm talking about the critical path here is you would go and pick up your friend, and you will not come back home, right?
Yes.
You'll find a way which is faster way or shortest way to reach the college from your friend's home.
Yes, sir.
So this is what the PET technique is. There are multiple disadvantages of that. Okay, we will not go that deep because our session will not be enough to talk more deep in that. Okay, we will if in case you people need more on this, you definitely can reach me out on my email address and my LinkedIn. We can connect and discuss on that. And third is in 1969, the Project Management Institute was founded. The Project Management Institute is a body which defines how projects are worked in a standard way. You all know ISI, right? ISI certificate in your whatever goods you buy. If you buy a juice or you buy anything in India, normally you have ISI and ISO certification stamp in that. That means yes or no. Have you ever observed this? Or say
Yes,
if
sir.
you're taking a
With
juice,
Indian standards?
you have a FDI FDI's authority done that this is approved by FDI or food ministry or something. I'm missing that part, but I remember ISI thing or ISO.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the authorized governing bodies who decide how any activity or any product should be released. It should be under some guidelines by government, right? In the same way, PMI is the world governing body who defines how project managers and project management should be handled. And I will talk about what PMI actually does in later part after I close my presentation. So normally all the project managers who have some experience, they appear for a PMP certification. And once they are certified, they are PMP certified project managers. That means they are adding value to their experience. Okay, it is very important for a project manager to get a PMP certification because it adds value to it. Okay, and just after 20 years of PMI's introduction or the founding of PMI, in 1980s, a Prince 2 methodology emerged. Okay, Prince 2 is basically followed in Europe and UK. There are many other places also it is followed, but most of the projects worked in UK and Europe, they are they follow Prince 2 methodology. Methodology is almost same. There's no much difference, but yeah, based on UK government's project management guidelines, Prince 2 works. Okay, and very recently in 2001, Agile Manifesto was released or published. So, a group of project managers who decided that the project management methodology should evolve because of the market and the industries are evolving faster. So, the projects must be delivered faster. And that's why the Agile Manifesto came in 2001. So, if you just see, every 20 years, there is something or other changing in the way project managers and project management is working. Have you identified here? Every 20, 30 years. At least from the time
Yeah,
project
yeah, that's right.
per technology came. So what does it mean? It's not only for project managers. If you go in any industry, the entire industry has evolves every 15, 20, 30 years. So you have to plan your career in such a way that you don't become an obsolete after 20 or 30 years because your career remains for good 40, 45 years, right? So this is my small advice to everyone, though this is not part of our discussion point, but I wanted to keep everyone updated on this. This is very important for everyone because you guys are very new to the market. That's what I know. So be very ready for changing markets whenever new methodology comes, the market trend changes. Okay, we will talk in detail later.
No?
Any questions till this point?
Sir,
Sir, how
sir,
to be
is this
prepared for that?
Sorry.
Sir, how to be prepared for that change in
See,
market?
you have to be very vigilant. You have to be very vigilant. You have to know. When I say vigilant, vigilant in the sense you have to know how the market is moving. Do you know? You know the classic story of Nokia, right? Do you know
Yes,
Nokia
sir.
phones?
Yeah,
Nokia
sir.
was the best market in the world. Nokia has conquered the entire phone industry for many years. But what happened? Where they went wrong? They had the best phones.
Sir, they didn't
But
updated their technology.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. So PMBOK or Agile, all these things, they why PMI is still active after say it's 50 years after it is founded. Why PMI certification is still the most sought out certification in the world? Because PMI updates itself. PMI is not absolute. Agile updates itself. Prince 2 updates itself. Okay. So as of now, PMBOK 7 is running. So they have updated themselves 7 times. Every 4-5 years, they come out with something new. The latest PMBOK, they have talks about agile and everything. So PMI also has updated itself. All the project managers who are getting certified, they have knowledge of agile now. Okay, because I will go ahead and discuss these things in my next slide. I think you will know. So when I say agile, before we talk about agile, I wanted to tell you what was the traditional project management, how the traditional project management was. Traditional project management is also called waterfall method. Okay, have you ever heard about it? Waterfall methodology of project management.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so
We have
it is.
heard.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So it's a sequential and linear approach of a project management methodology. Okay. If you can see the image which I have posted, it comes as a waterfall, one step after other. First, the requirement gathering phase, then the design phase, the implementation phase, the verification phase, and maintenance phase. Okay. This methodology mostly works for the manufacturing and construction industry. But software development was lagging behind using this methodology. And that is the major reason Agile came. Okay. So to be more clear, say, as I mentioned, a good example of constructing your home. Okay. You know that until unless you have your entire requirement set, you can't start designing, right? I mean to say, if you want to construct a home, you want to know what is the plot area, how many floors the house would be, what is the budget, what kind of house will it be, what would be the main components. So if you go to a contractor and say, build me a house, he would definitely ask you questions, right? How many floors you need, how many rooms will it have, do you need pillars, what would be the roof type, do you need a swimming pool, based on the plot area, obviously. So all these things is the contractor is, or the mason is documenting the requirements. And once all these requirements are done, then they design the house, they make a plan. This is how the house would be constructed, this is the layout, this is where the entry would be, or they do vastu or other thing. So these things go in design. And when you are doing implementation, in implementation also, you have waterfall method inside a project, because until unless you make your foundation ready, you can't do pillars. Until unless your pillars are ready, you can't do a roof. Until unless your roof is ready, you can't do other painting or electrical work or sanitation work. So all these things, the project starts somewhere and ends very late. Okay, and this is what the project software development industry or software industry was very uncomfortable with. And that's when people, the project managers and the stakeholders from PMI and the project managers in software industry, they decided that we have to think different to get our products faster. Okay.
Sir, who are
Classic example.
stakeholders and what are the expectations?
Sorry.
Who are stakeholders and what are their expectations?
Stakeholders. So if Yashwant is going for movie with his 5 friends, all the 5 friends are stakeholders. Everyone has his requirement to be assigned, right? A project is delivered to all the stakeholders only, right? Say, as the word means stakeholder, he has a stake in the project. If I'm giving a
Like the
work to
project
you,
number.
if I'm giving a work to you, um, I am a stakeholder. You are also a stakeholder. You are a stakeholder till you
Like
deliver
the
the
project
project.
numbers
I
are
am the stakeholder
stakeholder.
till the project is done and I take it over from.
Yeah, sir. Okay.
Sorry,
Got it.
so
Yeah, got
if
it.
Yashwant is going to movie with his friends, all the 5 friends are stakeholders. Okay, if one is unhappy, the project is not successful, right? So it's project manager's duty to make all the stakeholders happy. Any more questions till this time?
No, sir. Clear.
Okay, great. But I'm liking the way you people are asking me questions. I really appreciate it. We will continue this way only. Whenever you have any questions, you just let me know. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, what are the characteristics of a traditional project manager? You have a very clear project phases. Every phase is very well defined, and only then you start work. Okay. Fixed scope and timelines and limited flexibility, because once the design requirements and design are fixed, in traditional project management it's very difficult for us to change the requirements because everything is dependent on one another. So if there is a change in the first phase, the second phase has to be redone. Okay, that is what project managers in software development industry were not happy, and that's when they came up with Agile. Now, the next slide is all about Agile. Okay, why we need Agile? If you remember, okay, first let's talk about what is an Agile. As a basic definition, it's an iterative approach. When I say iterative approach, it's a repetitive approach. It reiterates itself. It's an iterative approach to project
Hello,
management,
sir.
emphasizing flexibility and customer collaboration. Okay.
Hello.
Say, how many of you play games in mobile or in laptop or desktops? I'm pretty sure you have many people who do it, right?
There are many hand raises in the
Yeah,
chat.
that's great. That's great. So, see, I think when you play a game, you have updates coming in every week or every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, right? So, when an update happens, what happens? The game is not redeveloped entirely. Only specific components are improved. All the bugs are fixed. All the new season comes. I think many people play BGMI here. They know the new season comes. There is some new event happening, and then they go about it, right? So next season something else comes up. So the basic things of the game remain same. I think in Valorant also the basic mechanism same remains same, but what changes here is extra components. Okay, so they don't have to deliver everything at once. It's a reiterative process. When you're using WhatsApp, for maybe 4 or 5 years. When the WhatsApp started, they only had a basic messaging system. Then they added voice notes. Then they added voice call. Then they added video call. Now you can update status. So all these things did not come with WhatsApp on day one. WhatsApp developed an application where people can with each other. They can have group chat and everything. And then they added extra things like group calls, what do you call, video calls, audio calls. You can what do you say, update your status. You can now have a very recently, I think you have disappearing messages, or you can now pin the messages. WhatsApp came out with WhatsApp Pay also, right? You can do UPI payments or something in WhatsApp. So all these things did not come on day one. When WhatsApp was launched, all these components were not there. So is WhatsApp developing everything at once and sharing with the end users? No, right? If it was a waterfall technology or waterfall methodology, WhatsApp would not have been that successful the way it is now. Because what people want is, customers want is something to be delivered every now and then, frequent updates. We want a product, working product, a working application, and then we can do enhancement on it. Okay. So as you see here, the core values is individuals and interactions over process and tools. So waterfall methodology had many processes: design process, quality process, everything. But here it is individuals are more important. And when we say individuals, it's not only the end users, but also the people who are developing the application or the tool. Okay. Working software over comprehensive documentation. So mostly in waterfall methodology, we have normally they have huge documentation process. Every step has to be documented. Only then project used to move ahead. But in Agile, because I'll come to the next slide when you will understand this thing, we develop something visible to the client every 2 weeks or 4 weeks. Okay. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. What used to happen in Agile is when you design, when you plan, do the requirement gathering and planning and designing, you had everything signed in a document. Okay, this is what I'm going to do for next 3 months, and after 3 months, I'll show you the outcome. But in Agile, there is no negotiation on contracts. It is just every week there is some new development activity comes in, and every week there is some new delivery happens. So if you go to your app store, you have this updates coming to all your apps every 2 weeks, right? Every week, right? So all the developers who are sitting and working on their enhancements, they push the development to your mobile app, not only to mobile app, for any other application very frequently. They don't wait for things to move for 3 or 4 months. If there is a feedback coming from client that this thing is not working, immediately they add it. How many of you use banking apps and banking websites? Many people use it, right? So you have authentication coming in as an OTP or anything. And then you have a secondary authentication also with your password and login name and password. So when you start building an application, the first initial step would be anyone to say, okay, give me a login ID and password. In the next phase, I will go for OTP authentication also. I'll do a multi-factor authentication. If you want to sit and say, no, I would like to have login with username and password and also with authentication, then that might take an extra week to deliver. So do you want your customers to wait for an extra week? No, right? This is what the clients want. The clients want everything to be developed as soon as possible. Also, they want their customer base to be intact. If you're not using an application for much time, whose loss is it? The application owners, right? So all the bugs which are getting highlighted in every application, those have to be fixed, and they have to be fixed on priority. So every week there is some update happening to your every mobile app. Very frequently they get delivered. So this is the use of Agile methodology. Okay, if you can see the diagram, we start with brainstorm, that is requirement analysis, design and prototype, development, that is iteration, demo, feedback, and everything, quality assurance, that is identifying and resolving bugs, production and technical support, that is deployment, that is releasing, and then which deliver to client, and then again start the next process. A continuous process. It revolves in cycle. If we are delivering it to client and there are some errors, we go back to the board again. We say, okay, our application is working, but it is not running very fast. It is slow. So I'm not stopping the entire application. I'm only working on the slowness part. Client says my application is working fine, but I want another level of security to it. We'll go to brainstorming again. The same thing. The cycle continues. The application is still working here, but all these things are happening simultaneously. And this is why agile methodology is the new flavor of the season, is because it's been in use for more than 20 years, but recently pre-COVID, when I'm talking about 2018-19, the agile manifesto has been adapted very closely by all the companies, because it is very easy for the end users to give a feedback and client to get the feedback and reissue the development. Did I confuse everyone here? I want to see the responses here. If you can see, agile is a methodology and Scrum is a framework. Agile says you have to have continuous iteration. You people have to understand, Agile and Scrum are not two different things. Scrum is part of Agile. Okay. Scrum is part of Agile. Agile methodology says you have to have continuous improvement, continuous development, continuous iterations. Scrum says, okay, you say continuous improvement, continuous development, and continuous iterations. I will tell you how to do it. So what is Scrum? It's an agile framework focusing on delivering work in small, manageable chunks called sprints. You people have seen, how do I explain? What is a sprint basically? What is a sprint? Sprint is when something moves very fast for a short period. You can't sprint for 2 kilometers, right? Maximum you can sprint for 10 seconds or 15 seconds. If you're an Olympic champion, you can sprint for a longer time. But you and me, I can sprint only for 5 seconds. After that, I collapse. I know me. Okay. So a sprint is a very short running period where you use maximum energy of your body to reach a destination. Okay. So the same thing here is you have a team of 5 people. Okay. You 5 people work for 2 weeks or 4 weeks. Basically, a sprint is between 2 to 4 weeks. Some projects, they have 2-week sprints. Some companies or some projects, they have 4-week sprints. When there is a larger team, larger chunk of things to be delivered, they use 4 weeks. When it's a smaller team, we use only 2 weeks of sprint. Not one. 1 week sprint doesn't happen. Just ignore that part. It's 2 to 4 weeks maximum. Okay. So it's a short time and we produce maximum value out of it. As I mentioned, the game development industry and any banking industry or any other industry, all the apps which you use, the developers, they work in sprint because they have to deliver things every second or third week. Okay. So what happens? They don't develop the entire project or entire game or entire banking application. They only add extra things to it. Okay. The new skins of the environment or something like that. Okay. I hope I'm clear with this. So let's talk about roles of a Scrum team. There is a product owner. the product owner defines project goals and priorities. Okay. So there is a person called product owner. He owns the product from delivery perspective. Okay. And he decides what has to be achieved in next sprint or this sprint or sprint after that. There are too many things done. I'll explain you that. There is a Scrum Master. As this is a Scrum methodology, he is the master of the Scrum. He facilitates the Scrum process. So entire sprint process is in control of the Scrum Master. You have to understand the difference here. Product owner has the command or the control of what is to be delivered. But the Scrum Master has the control of the entire Scrum. So if the Scrum period is 2 weeks or the sprint is for 2 weeks, this entire 2 weeks activities are controlled by Scrum Master. What has to be delivered in these 2 weeks is defined by product owner and the development team who execute the work. The development team has the developers, the testers, the business analysts, they have designers, whoever they need. If it's just a small project, they need 3 people. If it's a big project, they need 10 to 12, whatever the size. Okay, it's not a constraint anyways. So as I say, Scrum Master facilitates the Scrum process. The Scrum process has 3 very, very, not 3, I think it is, I think I missed one part. Anyways, I'll explain it. The sprint planning, the Scrum Master and the product owner and the team. Okay, one more important thing here is the Scrum process is entirely based on the team collaboration. The entire project team decides what would happen in next 2 weeks and Scrum Master controls that it has to happen. In waterfall methodology, here, the requirement team sits somewhere, they do all the requirement, designing team, they just send the document here, they design, and the designing team is out of this thing. The requirement team is out of the project. Then comes to implementation. The implementation teams does all its work and give to verification. Verification team is done, it goes to maintenance. So there are hardly people who are part of the project for the whole project phase. But as a Scrum team, entire team is present in planning, in designing, in testing. So this is the most important thing why Scrum became more useful in software development team, software development projects, is because we have more teamwork going on here. So everyone is under the same page. Okay, say if in case business analyst teams gives me a document and walks out of the project, if I have any queries, it becomes very difficult for me to go back to them and ask them what does it mean. But in sprint, the business analyst, the developer, the tester, everyone is in part of one team and they do all the discussions before starting the sprint. So everyone has the same goal, same vision of what has to be developed. And that's when they use maximum potential to reach out to the goals, because everyone agrees that, yes, this is what we will do in these 2 weeks, and they do it. So there is no disconnect. There is no discomfort with everyone. Everyone understands their roles very betterly. And that's why Scrum framework is more successful in the current software development project management, to be basically. Daily stand-ups. So sprint planning is done by the entire team. They plan what we have to do from day 1 of the sprint to day whatever last day of the sprint. They know everything what is to be delivered. Everyone has their own work to do and they have to deliver it. What happens in daily stand-ups? Daily stand-ups, the reason this is called daily stand-up is because daily stand-up calls are very short calls. Okay. The only thing is discussed in the daily stand-up is what I did yesterday, what I'm going to do today, and if I have an issue or not. That's it. So normally in the reason it is called stand-up meeting is because people are not even allowed to sit for that meeting. It is very short, 5 minutes to the max. If it's a short team, 5 minutes. If it's a larger team, it's 10 or 12 minutes or 15 minutes, not more than that. So everyone decides one after other. They say what they wanted to do yesterday, were they able to achieve it yesterday? Did they face any challenges, and what they have to do today, and are they facing any challenges? So just to give an example, like Yashwant planned to go for a movie with his 5 friends, right? So today Yashwant said, okay, tomorrow I'll decide on the people who will come. Today I will decide on people who will come. Tomorrow I'll decide on the place where we'll be going. So the next day morning, all the 5 friends meet and say, where are you going? Have you decided on a place? So Yashwant will say, yep, I have decided that I'll go to this restaurant or this movie theater and we will watch this movie. So he will just explain this and say, okay, fine. Meeting ends there. If he has any challenges, then he will put across the challenges, saying, Yashwant says, okay, Ravi, he's the person who says he doesn't want to come for movie. He wants to go for a dinner. What do we do? So this is an issue, right? For this, there would be another meeting, only with Ravi, not with everyone else. Because Scrum, the stand-up meetings, all the team members involve themselves in the meeting. We don't want everyone to waste the time. And this is why sprint is more successful, because only the required people get onto a meeting, not everyone else. Okay. Normally, in many other places or in waterfall methodology, whenever there is a meeting, the entire team members come and discuss and they spend time in meetings. So someone is not required, he should not be part of that meeting. That is one of the principles of Scrum and Agile. Okay, basically Scrum and Agile. Then we have sprint review. At the end of the sprint, there is a review happens. Okay, so this week, in this sprint, we wanted to deliver these components, or this was our goal. Did we achieve it or not? What did we achieve? This is what is discussed in sprint review. And there is one more ceremony called sprint retrospective. If you can see here, you have retrospective, right? Sprint review and retrospective. Retrospective is a meeting or a Scrum ceremony, basically, which says what happened in our sprint. Did we achieve our goals? What good happened? What bad happened? What are the lessons learned? How do we improve our process? Say Yashwant called five of his friends. They went to movie and they come back home and they discuss about the movie and their journey and everything, right? You go to a restaurant, you went for a buffet and you say, this thing was not nice in the restaurant here. Let's not go to the restaurant again. Right? This is something which happens with everyone. I want to hear if people agree with me. Is anyone listening?
Guys, just unmute yourself and respond. It will
So
be more
what
interactive.
happens? You discuss, right? You go to, say you went to PVR and say you watched a movie. You come back and say the movie was not nice. Next time we will not go to a movie in this theater. Probably the sound was not well, or the popcorn was not good, or the AC was not well, or many other reasons. So you discuss this thing, right? From next time we will go to a better place, or we will do this to improve the timings and everything. Even if you go and play your local gully cricket, every end of the match you always discuss, right? I didn't bowl very well, you didn't bat very well. Yes, exactly. That is retrospective. You decide, the entire team sits with each other. They say this is something which went bad. So probably this should be considered in our next sprint. Okay, say we considered some work to be done in next sprint, and suddenly Dashara comes in between, a festival, right? Normally people go on leave in that. So obviously the sprint activities were not performed on time or did not um, complete on time. So in retrospective, they will say, okay, this is the reason why we didn't succeed. So from next time, before we plan on a sprint, we will see. No, retrospective is part of your daily routine. I understand, but for a sprint, it happens at the end of the sprint. At the end of the sprint, we do a retrospective session to to identify what went wrong in this session or what went good. Okay, you can say this theater PVR we went to, it was good. What are the good things in the PVR? Popcorn is good, though it is costly, but it is good. Or you say we went to this restaurant, food was good, the reception was good, the service was good, AC was good, the ambience was good. So many factors, right? We discuss about each and every factor and we say, okay, let's go to this theme restaurant from next time, or let's only have this food next time, or let's go to this movie next time. So this is what a retrospective is. A retrospective is going back to your activities, identify what good happened, what could have been done better. It is this ceremony is not to put blames. It's always used to improve the team capacity or team velocity. How team can improve. Say, does anyone watches F1 here? Formula One. Okay, forget Formula One. I think many people will not. You watch IPL, right? So in IPL, when we started in 2008, what was the maximum scores we used to see? 160, 180 was a very good score to defend,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So
Yes, sir. 150,
now,
160.
now even 260, 280 are like, array, it is beatable. So
Yeah.
what happened here? What happened in this 10 years? Though there were some rules changed, like impact player and all, but most of the times you see batsmen have improved, right? Their shot making and everything.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in Formula One, in 2000s, 90s and 2000s, the pit stop best time for pit stop was somewhere 7 seconds. 7 seconds. That came down to 2010s and 12s. It came down to 4 seconds. And in recently, I think in last 2023, McLaren made it 1.7, 1.78. Just check. It's 1.78 for McLaren. Okay. So it is the same process, right? It is the same process. Take the tires, put a new tire, send him. So they have improved. How they have improved? They documented or they checked each and every aspect. How do we improve? With what went wrong, or how can we improve? It's not only experience. They have improved their methodology. They have improved their methodology. The way they improved their tools also, right? To help them to get more. Even 1 second makes millions of dollars in effort. So they have improved. They improved their tools. They have improved their the process, how the tires would change, how many people will be there, and everything. So this is all continuous improvement. So if in case you have seen LinkedIn or anywhere a job posting, it is mentioned CICD.
Some team has to complete a successful goal.
It is continuous improvement and continuous deployment. So how you improve yourself is what agile methodology teaches you or makes you look into continuous improvement. So yeah, I think you people have very good understanding of this now, at least basic. So we'll close this very soon. How the process changed, agile versus traditional. Agile is more flexible. It adapts to changes. Traditional approach is more rigid because they can't change the requirement in middle of the session. Delivery. Agile delivers in increments and traditional methods delivers at the end. You can't get a house delivered in phases, right? Your house, you start building a house, you construct a house, and then you go into it. You just can't say I have a roof, so I will just stay in it. It can't happen like that. But Agile, every week there is something else. So you're using the application and something else happens. And collaboration is something which happens more with Agile, is that your customer is in with touch with you every time, because every time he's giving you requirements. Every week there is something new coming in, new inputs coming in, new challenges coming in. All the things happen very fast in Agile. The benefits of Agile and Scrum are improved flexibility, enhanced collaboration, faster delivery, and very high quality. If you see in this, the quality assurance happens every now and then, right? Every 2 weeks, you're checking quality. Whereas in Agile, traditional verification or quality happens only once. So that's the reason in Agile, you get a better quality product. And what are the real world applications? It's for software development, healthcare, automotive industry. Have you people observed in last 3 or 4 years, there are many car models coming into the market, right? If you go historically, if you see during 2000s to 2015 and 16, every year a new car model would come during Diwali and Ugadi. See, it's twice in a year. But now every second month or third month, there is new car variant coming into the market. Have you observed anyone? I think you should check. Learning and edtech. This is one industry which has been more benefited by Agile, including software development and healthcare, automotive, finance, marketing. Marketing is one key industry which was helped by Agile, because the marketing campaigns, they used to take years to divide a campaign or design a campaign and go for it. But now, every now and then you have new marketing campaigns coming in, because they are following the Agile methodology. For every customer need, they have one new strategy up. They don't have to wait for the entire campaign to run and then close and get a feedback. You go to the market. If you don't get a good feedback, you change it. If you get any suggestions, you change your campaign. So that's how it is been monitored. So what are the key takeaways? The project management ensures successful project delivery. I would say any project, let it be from ancient times to the recent ones, any project, any application, anything you do, if you don't manage your project correctly, it will fail. If Yashwant doesn't plan his movie trip or dinner trip correctly, all the 5 stakeholders will not be happy, and that's a failure, right? Agile and Scrum offer flexibility and adaptability. Agile offers your client end users to be more flexible and to be more adaptive to the changes. Like in the case of WhatsApp or PhonePe, everything happened through Agile only. The Blinkit, the classic example of Blinkit, the Flipkart and everything, they work on Agile methodologies, because they have to change every day. Every day the price of the shoe changes. Every day there is new deal coming in. There is some Independence Day deal, Republic Day sale, Big Billion sale. All these things happen very quickly. So if they stay with waterfall, it takes very long time and long planning for them to deliver something. But in Agile, within a short period of time, you can plan and deliver things. But also, I'm not saying waterfall is not a good way of doing things. As I mentioned, in construction and manufacturing, waterfall is still the best way to go. But in Agile is more into product development, project development, healthcare, finance and banking and finance and everything. Game development, all these things they do with Agile. It's up to you as a project manager to decide which methodology would yield you more.